she's recognizing the kind of men that she would have liked and had a chance to date had she not put herself in the position she had in life. Two, older black women always want to use this black don't crack. We age the best. This and that. Show me your left ring finger. Show me your left ring finger. I don't want to hear any of this other stuff. Jap, you kind of hit on a point that I've brought out on my channel. You guys hold the record for the most engaged, longest engaged, uncommitted, long-term relationships. You cannot get what it counts: the wedding, the marriage. So women like this, instead of doing what it takes to give men what they want, they're trying to scare young women, which they're not hearing this anymore. I'm just come to my show and you'll hear the young women. I ain't trying to hear these old bras no more. So the only ones left are the frightened, still BP men and guys who haven't quite woke up yet, that think that they may end up getting clowned. But then you look at the alternative. Would you rather get clowned or would you rather have this? I'll take my chance at the fair or the circus, because I don't like this right here. So go ahead.
What's going on, everybody? Wired here. I hope you guys are having an excellent day. And today we are treading into the manosphere territory, and we got some big news here from David's Bridal, which, if you don't know, is one of the largest wedding planners, wedding gown places in America. We'll be filing Chapter 11, bankruptcy. And, if you need any more proof than this, that the manosphere is winning or this red pill movement is really kicking off, look no further. I mean, there are tons of podcasts about this. Kevin Samuels, as we just heard from, Abba and Preach, Just Pearly Things, the Whatever podcast, Taylor the Fiend. There's a ton of content out here like this. And I think it speaks to the times we live in, where everyone is very promiscuous, but nobody wants to lock down marriage. Because for whatever reason, and I'm not going to blame anybody here because that's not what my channel's about, but nobody's getting that rock anymore. Nobody's getting that ring. It doesn't really seem worth it. I think we have too much promiscuity, and especially for men, the divorce rate is very high. It's initiated 70 to 80% by women, 90% by women, I guess, if you are a college-educated woman. And, the guy can lose half of all his stuff. There was just an article I read, the other day, some international soccer player, I forget his name. His wife was trying to take him for all his stuff, too, and he gave it to his mother. Big brain 4D move right there. But yeah, this is fascinating. It really is. Marriage is just not a thing anymore. People don't want the commitment. There's really no benefit to it. And David's Bridal is filing for bankruptcy because of it. So let's read a little bit about this here. David's Bridal filed for bankruptcy protection for the second time and could close all of its nearly 300 stores if the company is unable to find a buyer in the coming weeks. The closely held company filed for Chapter 11 protection in New Jersey, unable to tame its debt despite a surge in weddings following COVID-19 restrictions and moves to expand into more affordable dresses. Davis lists his assets and liabilities of $100 million to $500 million in his bankruptcy petition. And look, I'm not going to say that COVID is not a thing with this. Well, excuse the truck going by if you guys can hear that. I'm sorry. I live on a little bit of a busy street. I'm sure COVID really did put a damper on their sales, as many things were hit by COVID. However, I don't think this is all to do with COVID. I'm over 30 years old. I actually have quite a bit of friends. I don't know anyone who's getting married or even... No, I know one person who got married a couple of years ago, but if I could think of like 10, 15, 20 people at the top of my head that I knew from high school, college, pretty much nobody is getting married anymore. And I just don't think there's a very high incentive to it. There's a lot of risk for men, especially. You can lose all your stuff. You can, lose half your assets. You can lose your house. You can lose your kids. You can have to pay alimony and child support. And even infidelity is not really, even infidelity cannot really prevent that. Even if you have somebody who cheats on you, there's no guarantee that you are going to make it out of that with a good situation. Because, the courts are woke. Marriage is not equalized for men at this point. And I'm not saying this is what, Any women listening, I'm not trying to say that all women do this, because I know not all women do. There are some good women out there, definitely. I'm just saying it's very risky, especially for men. And I just don't think the commitment's there anymore. And that's not even getting into the whole 304 thing, but I don't have time to rant about that. David said his stores are open and the company will continue fulfilling all customer orders without disruption or delay. Still, the company is preparing to close its stores as if it can't quickly find a buyer for the whole business, according to court papers. Hey, good luck with that. If no buyer is found, David's plans to wind down its operations by the end of July, though the company cautioned that plans could change. David's is in bankruptcy again following a quick trip through Chapter 11 that ended in January 2019 and saw the company continue operating while paying more than $400 million of debt and handing control to a group of lenders. Oh, so they went through this already 4 years ago. That had nothing to do with the pandemic. That's interesting. Like I said, I'm sure the pandemic did affect this. I'm sure it did, but I don't think that's the only reason. Well, I don't even think it's the main contributor, but I don't have hard numbers here. But the retailer continued to struggle as brides spooked by the bankruptcy turned to alternative options. Yeah, I'm sure it was the bankruptcy that spooked them. Later in 2019, David's restructured his debt again in an out-of-court deal. The pandemic caused further upheaval and COVID-19 restrictions forced his stores to close temporarily and caused brides to postpone weddings or hold smaller ceremonies. Under Chief Executive Jim Markham, who came to the company from Apollo Global Management, retailer began selling quinceañera dresses and in 2021 launched a virtual wedding stylist program. Conshock and Penn's base. David's joins a handful of large retail chains that have filed for Chapter 11 this year, including bedding manufacturers, Serta Simmons, and Party City. Well, I don't understand how any of those stores stay in business personally. You can only use them. You're only going to use them once every couple of years. Mattress. I don't know how mattress stores stay in sale either. I don't know. Like when are people get a new mattress? Like once every 10, 15 years. But that's a totally different topic. Totally different topic. I know that there's a ton of Manosphere content on YouTube. I know it's really ramping up, and I watch it. From time to time. I'm not super invested in it, but I just found this story fascinating. I just don't think. Like I said before, leave a comment on the comment section if you can really put some hard facts to what is the point of getting married in today's day and age. I know for women, you can get a lot of security from it. And again, I'm not saying all women, there are some good women out there. I do know that. But there is no point for a man to really get married. And the men are the ones who have to ask the woman to get married. I mean, 90-some%. I mean, it should be all the time, but we do live in a woke society now. I've had, conversations with coworkers about this, conversations with friends. What is the benefit of getting married? And besides for people being like, we can get a little bit of a break on our taxes, nobody really has anything to say because the risks far outweigh the rewards. You can lose your house, you can lose your kids, you can lose all your money, and then you'll have to pay money. Alimony, child support. And let me tell you, it doesn't go both ways. Because even if a man gets custody of that kid, and I know this from experience, there is no way you're getting child support. It will never, ever happen. From my experience, anyway. But anyway, that's all I got. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening this long. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Later.